Okay, great. So welcome to the session today. It is Monday, the 25th of October. And I'm Jason, your host. Haven't said that before, have I? All right, so the DTB system, we've done quite a few videos now on our live trading with this, probably about 20 or so, somewhere around there. But we're covering in these videos, we're covering the analytical strategy, which is one of the strategies. And there's over 10 strategies and over 30 custom indicators that make up the whole DTB system. And a lot of educational and video content on how to use them and how to set them up and how to help you to make trading decisions. So there was actually a new strategy launched today that we are doing some testing on. So pretty exciting things ahead. Okay, so the risk disclosures for futures trading. And there's a link to this in the video as well. So important to understand. So have a look through that. Okay, so we have got a brand new week, so Monday. I just wanted to make sure that I've got any of the live streamers on. I'm not leaving them out of the picture. So I'm just going to keep an eye on the channel too to see if there's any comments or questions or stuff during the session. So I'll be doing that. Let's just make sure everything's going well over there. Okay, it seems that way. One second, let me just make sure. Okay, good stuff. All right, so I'm going to be doing things, I wouldn't say very differently, but I'm going to be using a different bar type today. One of the biggest issues that you're going to find over time is that there's a lot of inconsistency with price feeds. There's a lot of inconsistency with bar formation. And that is because every single data provider, every single company that's feeding you data, they give you different starting data and stuff. So when you're using tick charts, this isn't so important when you're using 5-minute charts or 1-minute charts or whatever other chart that you have available or that you're using for strategies. But it's extremely important when you are using tick charts that you're getting or that you have very accurate data on from your provider. And we've experienced this so many times, between all the students that we have, is that everybody has different opening times for the start of their bar, for the start of the week. So the analytical strategy really works off, it really needs accurate data and consistent accuracy to really be effective. So one of the bar types that I actually I developed a while back when the very first bar type that I started with the DTB system, I'll bring that up over here now very quickly. So let me bring up the NQ chart and I'll bring up one of these bars. So it's called the DTBBars. So I'm going to bring up the 28 bar and 28 bar, and we'll just bring up the last, say, 5 days. Okay. And I'll put break at end of day on just for this example to show you what this looks like. Okay. So here is let me increase the size of all of this. Where are we? Yeah, the font, just to help to see everything clearer. Okay, so there's the price. Now, as you notice, as you go to the beginning of the trading day, I did do this right, didn't I? So data series for the DTB bars, I did select break at end of day, NinjaTrader. Okay, so what this bar type does is it keeps a very accurate bar formation. So when you've got a break at end of day, it's going to ensure that where the price ended on the previous day, okay, where it ended, it's going to start drawing a bar from that value so that when it catches up to price, the bar formation that you are seeing on your chart is exactly the same as everybody else who is using the DTB system. So this also looks the same on a trending baseline chart. So if you go like a 1 and a 195 trending baseline chart, and I'll take break at end of day off in this, I'll leave it on again. I'll still leave it on just for this. Okay, data series. Okay, so if you load up this chart like a 195, you're going to notice that your bar type will look exactly the same as anybody else's who loads up this bar type. The start of it, I just want to check something though, because it is a 195. 1 second. So notice when I take off break at end of day, it still stays the same. So what this does is it ensures that every single chart has got the exact same bar formation. So you can go into your data series, you can load up 5 days, you can load up 10 days, you can load up 20 days, 3 days, whatever days that you select, you will always have the exact same bar formation as anybody else. So the same if I go with a 28 and a 28. So we're working with the 20, 28, 28. I'll put 5 days and I'll leave break at end of day off. So if you leave break at end of day off, what it will do is it will just, you won't see that very long string of false bars. It will just start painting from the price. So you'll see that here is the break, the change over in the day. It just carried on forming a bar. So if the price was in a bar when the market closed, it will continue painting from that exact bar. There's not going to be gaps between the bar formation. And if the bar, say for example, the market opened on this bar over here, and the market closed on this bar over here, this last bar, say the market closed over there. What will happen is when the market opens, it will draw up these 1, 2, 3 bars. And as long as wherever the price is, it will stay within the confines of that specific bar size, and that formation will continue on. Now, the biggest problem, if I go and duplicate this in a new tab, the biggest problem that you have with any other bar type, and this is one of them, I haven't done this exact same thing with this, but on the analytical bars, if you have a break at end of day or any Renko bar, tick bar, whatever you have, if you have a break at end of day, what's going to happen is it's going to, I'll just see if this one, if I can find today's break at end of day, it'll probably be easier on a smaller bar, but let me just switch over to another end of day somewhere. Okay, there, it was one over there. So you notice this bar over here. So here is the break at end of day, and that is where the new bar actually formed. Okay, but what happens is there's no continuation of the previous bar. It forms a new bar, and the opening bar of the day, okay, on my chart it says 15,296.75. Okay, that opening price could be 15,295 on somebody else's chart. It could be 15,296.25. So it could be out by a few ticks. And based on what size bar you have, if it's out beyond a certain range, your bar formation going forward is going to be very different to everybody else's. Everyone will have slightly different bar shapes or bar formations because there's no complete proper continuation of the price. Now, and that's just unfortunately how it works with the data feeds. But what this does is wherever the price opens up for the day on the DTB bars, it will make sure that when the price catches up, when the bars catch up to the price, that you're always going to have that consistency in bar formation. Okay, so the reason why this is so important is that we want to make sure that, you know, we have the same formation across all of our systems. Now, I did not think this would be super important when it comes to the analytical strategy, but I did spend quite a few hours today just comparing results, longer term results with shorter term results, using different times, trading hours, templates, and things like that. And I noticed that there's a lot more consistency with the signals on the DTB bars across any time frame. So if you load a trading hours template, you know, as like I've got quite a few over here, and I was working on earlier, I was working on like the 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, and even with break at end of day. So I loaded this trading hours template, but now this trading hours template on the DTB bars, so 28 to 28. Okay, if I'm just doing that and I'm doing the break at end of day, you'll notice that the price forms all these fake bars until it catches up to price. And remember, I'm only doing, it looks a bit weird on the screen, but I'm only doing that specific time. So all of these slots over here, all of these time slots you're seeing over here is when the price caught up to the bar. Now it is painting from a lower value of 12,000. I just made it specifically on that number. It's more for the NQ. There was an extra little plugin that I had created to be able to adjust it for different instruments based on average true range and a whole lot of things. But for right now, the bar formation actually starts at 12,000. And it will start painting false bars until it catches up to price. But once it's caught up with price, your bar formation is going to be exactly the same on your system as you know, as anybody else's. So if I you know, you go and expand that. Now obviously it's a 28 bar, so it's going to you know, just look, yeah. So that's what in real time, that's what you'll be looking at when you're in that session. Now if I go and run optimization and I go put a strategy on there, and this strategy has a specific trading hours in it, like this. So if I go and select my time slot and I say, I want to trade between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. And I'll put my settings in there. So let me just put in a setting here as an example, 340. Okay, what that's going to do is it's going to plot those positions between those specific hours of trading. But if you're looking at your bars and you're looking at these entries and somebody else is comparing their settings with yours, you should be seeing the same signals and the same bars because they all look exactly the same. But if I had to go load like this 28 bar, if I had to go load that on another chart right now and look at the bar, you're going to find that those bars are not going to look the same on the analytical bar chart. So that's, you know, you could go compare this yourself, but so that is one thing that that I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be using the DTB bars, doing optimizations on them, because I can also optimize, I can use a smaller data set In fact, let's just get into that right now so we don't delay any further and we haven't got issues before the session starts. There's no delay there. Okay, so we're going to do optimizations. We're using 9 a.m. To 10 a.m. Okay, so those are the times. And I'm going to be doing so the same thing as we've done before, all the exact same settings that we have done before. The only difference now is I'm using the analytical bars, the DTB bars, not the analytical bars. And then I'm selecting a trading hours template. So the good thing about this is if you want to analyze very large samples of data over weeks and weeks and weeks, and you want to analyze specific hours in that day, you can actually use the trading hours template to shorten off the day, but still have that consistency of the bar formation, because it's the DTB bars, when the price catches up, it'll be the same. So as long as you've got just about 2 hours before, especially on the larger bars, so that it gives the price time to catch up, or the bars time to catch up with the price, and then just a little bit of time after, so you've got some space around that. So the good thing about this is you can do optimizations for a specific hour of the day, then you can run the same optimizations for the last week on just normal instrument hours, and the bars will be exactly the same at the time of the trades. And that is one thing where there's a difference between doing the analytical bars certain periods, because wherever the start date is, and every single day, if there's a few ticks different in the open, it's gonna throw it off over time. So I'm hoping that this little insight will help a bit. It might take a bit to understand it, but I think this explanation would help a little bit. And we'll just do this. So I'm going to pop this in 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm going to optimize. Let's just go back a little bit. So that was the last week. I'm going to go the 26th of the 9th up until today. And I'm going to run the 120, 140 on the 2028 bar, max net profit. So everything else is the same. The only thing that I've unchecked is break at end of day. Okay, so I'm going to run that and just see what that produces. Remember, it's only optimizing, it's only bringing up a small amount of data. It's only bringing up 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's not bringing up all of the data for the whole entire trading day. So that's why you're able to get optimizations also running a lot faster. Okay, so this over here, if I look at this optimization, this is daily. Okay, so this is showing me the half hour of day. Let me just check it and the entry time. Okay, so this is just showing me the 9 to 9:30. It's showing me the trades. Okay, there's not a lot of trades in that specific one. So I'm going to go do more optimizations now. So what I'm going to go do is I'll go do like let's do a 16 and a 16. So remember, we're still only using the very specific trading hours, 9 a.m. to 10. And you'll see that the optimization runs pretty quickly. Okay, and then also looking at the chart, you'll notice that there's a lot of fake bars that come up. So it's still going to show you all those fake bars so remember, we're only bringing up 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. So between all those hours, after those hours and before, you're going to have fake bars until the price catches up again. And that's going to be like that for every day. See those fake bars painting out. Okay, so it's just going to help speed up optimizations and also just assist with this. Okay, so I'm going to run a few different variables over here. I haven't gone and done mass optimizations to find the best setting for today. So I'm doing that now. And we'll look at how that goes. If anybody on the call has got a good bar size that they're working with today, I could try run it through here also, the specific optimization using the DTB bars. So
a 2020 or a 1414 is what I'm looking at, Jason.
okay, 2020 and a 1414. We'll just close off these. Okay, so duplicate and duplicate. Yeah, so I mean, it is very sad. I mean, I don't think many people will realize at all that you're going to get inconsistent data. I mean, you would think in this day and age, on a regulated exchange, you would have consistent data that's been double checked, triple checked, and all that to be consistent. So you said 1616. Sorry.
Yes, mate. I've gone with a 1616, a 2020.
Okay, perfect. 1616 and 2020. I'll just choose one of these and we'll run that for this session. I should have done a bit more homework on this, but we will choose one of these and go from there. Okay, so like analysis on this one, it's just showing like daily. If I go daily, okay, so not the absolute greatest on there. Let me just check analysis and daily. Okay, so this one here, what am I doing? 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. So this is showing, have I selected specific trading days? I don't think I did with this trading hours template. 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. So what is this? It's 27, 4, 11, 18. Oh, this is Monday. Okay, so this is actually Monday, every Monday. This is Mondays. Mondays, 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the last 4 Mondays in a row. That's what this is. I should have labeled it a little bit better because now it looked a bit confusing to me. Okay, so I'm going to just put this over here. And one more thing I want to do is I want to go and duplicate this. I've got literally 4 or 5 minutes to go, so we'll try get this thing going ASAP. Come on. Okay, so and then what I also want to do is I want to do the same optimizations on here, but I want to be using the instrument hours. So it's using all the data and it's going to be running the optimization between those, for every single day. So what I'm doing is I'm checking for the specific day of the week, and I'm also seeing what has consistently worked over the last few days. So that should finish in the next 2 minutes or so. And then while that is going, I'll start opening up a chart, even though I don't know the exact bar size for it, but we'll start getting that up. Okay, so new chart. And I'll actually start on the one that we did the optimization on, the one that came up with Monday's results. So that was a 1616 bar. So 16 and 16. And I'm going to put the same days in there, even though I don't think this is 100% necessary for this bar type. I'm just going to copy it for now, and I'll go in and evaluate that just now on the call. Okay, so 26th of the 9th up until today, and we do not have break at end of day. I'm going to select my account. Okay, and I'm going to save that template of that strategy that I created. So save template, and it was 25 October. So 25 October. So I've got some record there, DTBBars. 15 under 16. Okay, so save. I'm going to go strategies. I also want to make sure I got that same 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. on there. Okay. Strategies, and I'll go and load that one. So template load, and it was this one over here. Okay, so basically over the last month, if we look at this strategy performance and we look at the real-time and historical data, it's showing us that it's made 22 trades, 6,600 net profit with the 200 drawdown, an average of only 1.45 a day. So we'll look at some more optimizations while we are up. And then the trades, if you look at the specific trades, those were the specific trades. Okay, so we'll look at what happens on the market open, which will be now any second. Okay, so that's all done.
Is there any relation here, Jason? Because you've got 4-8, which is roughly double the A and B setting, and I've got 10 and 21, which is obviously roughly double as well.
Double?
It's just your A setting is 4.
Yeah.
Your B setting is 8. My A setting.
Different bar. It might be the case too, you know. Let's see how it goes. And I'm also just looking at my other optimizations just to see if there's anything that's coming up there. So I'll just minimize this a little bit. And I also want to look at this analyzer that I just created. So ideally, sorry to cut you off earlier, Stu, I had something in my mind I just wanted to clear. So ideally what you would like to do is do the optimization like we did, where you're selecting your specific day of the week and your specific day of the week. You do your optimization on that, and then you do a longer term optimization of every day. So like I did an optimization over here from the 26th of the 9th up until the 25th of the 10th. That's a whole month's worth of data on the same bar, and also using the same hours. Okay, so there, I think there's a slight difference over there. Let me just check my other one. So 9 to 10, 9 to 10. Okay. So remember, this is analyzing every day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not, or even a Sunday, not only, or actually, sorry, only Monday to Friday. But it's checking every single day. So ideally, what it'll be great is if you can find a setting on here that shows up every day as being consistent, as well as specifically for the last 5 Mondays even. That is not on my list. There are a few that are closer. There's like a 4-8, the 4-4 is, I mean, that comes up so frequently, that 4-4. So another option you can actually do is run your second strategy on the chart and then pause the one that hasn't entered the position when the first one had. So you're just giving yourself a bit of a more odds basically in this.
Yeah, mine doesn't take a position yet.
Hasn't yet, okay. And this setting that I've got here, it's currently in a long. So the last signal was back earlier, much earlier. So we're currently in that thing. So if your strategy was also in the last position was a long, because the price has just gone up, it's not going to be entering another position because before you started the strategy, it was already in a long because you got to wait until flat synchronize. So that could often be the case. So this is going to wait for a reversal. There we go. So what this does is it'll act on the first sell signal that the strategy is going to give out. So are you in a sell now by any chance?
I'm not yet, no.
Not yet, okay.
I am, Mike took it.
Okay. Okay. I just want to go into the data series over here and just increase the size of this stupid chart. It's not the data set, it's the properties. Okay. So this is the first little cell thing that the strategy came up with. It's built a brick wall over there. Whether this could be a false down thing, we'll know soon enough. If it's going to switch above, and it'll probably continue up if it did that. Often they'll run the price up for a while and then they'll do a small pullback and then continue running it. So we'll see if that's the case. Now that I've got this on my chart, I'm also going to go and let me just see. I've got the trading hours. Okay, so this is a bit of a tricky one. You can't really add the Fibonacci levels to this chart because it's only got a very limited amount of data that it's pulled up. So if you're going to go and if you want to go add Fibonacci levels, rather duplicate this in a new tab like this. And here you can go and say, I just want to have 5 days of data. So if I go days and I go 5, and I could just use the instrument settings. Now notice when I do this, notice when I create a 1616 bar with 5 days of data, notice how the bar is exactly the same as the previous chart. See, so this chart over here has got very specifically a date range in it, a very specific trading hours template. Okay, but if you look at the bar size, the bar formation, you're going to notice it's exactly the same as this chart, which has got 5 days on without a specific trading hours template. So that's when I was telling you earlier about a very what's the word I used? It's basically consistent. You see the bar formation is exactly the same no matter how much data you are loading or no matter what data you are loading. When the price is the price, it's going to match on every chart. And that is what you ideally want to have. So what I can go do now is I can go to my indicator list and I can go pop on my Fibonacci levels indicator because let's see what this looks like. So Fibonacci levels, and I can go apply that. I should have done this again. I always say I should have done this before, but it kind of takes a bit to load, and now I hope it's not going to impact my strategy that's running. Okay, it didn't really. That's good.
I made it to my goal already. Oh, you too. Look at that.
Very nice. I mean,
All right.
you had your
Going
$500 target, you set, you know, or look at this. It's almost $1,000.
Look at that one. Wow. Good job, man. Thank you.
So that's pretty awesome, you know.
It is absolutely awesome.
So so what you can do is you can say, I'm going to pause this. You can pause it and you can capture what you've actually created, what you have, and then you can go and click start again. And what will happen is it will act on the next signal. So that's something that if you really want to capture what you've got, pause your strategy and then start it again, and will act on the next signal. Because I mean, often it could come up and come down again. But you know, I've been caught up before where I've paused it and it's continued for another 100 ticks. But I really wanted to see my Fibonacci levels indicator, because that's going to give me a very good picture of where price is struggling and where price is more likely to be going. So just looking at this chart, and wow, okay. So we've had the price come all the way back down at the 5-minute 50, bounced off there, went up a little bit, it's back to the 50. Now, just below the 50 of the 5-minute is the daily 50%. So that's the daily Fibonacci. So that's a very strong, it's a very strong level for price. So it's not going to just, it's not something that'll just wade through without any resistance. That's why we're probably seeing price struggling over here. A small bounce off it, coming very close to it. Now that it's come to this level, we'll see what it does around here. But generally, when you come to the 50% daily, there's going to be some sort of, reaction around that level. So basically went through, came back, retested it, and we'll see if it's actually going to be a type of a level where it's going to be a support, or is it going to smash all the way back down to the next strong level, which is the 38.2. So right now we have a space for the price to move over there. But if the price fails in this zone where it is right now, which is the daily 50, it's got a huge space to move up again, which is over here. So this is good because the price broke below the 50. Okay. So let's see what this actually, so that's what's happened there. We've got another signal that came up, a very brief signal that came up over there. So just looking at this, it's looking pretty good. It's got it, like I said, it's got a huge gap to go to. I mean, it could come and bounce around a bit, but ultimately, if you look, this price has got this range to still go and navigate. The next real place for this price to struggle at will be here at the daily 38.2 and the weekly 61.8. So between where the price is now and here, there's not really much stopping it. I mean, the bankers are looking at this now and saying, wow, okay, we can run this price because there's nothing in the way of it. So if you're looking at this, it's about 150 ticks to go down still, without any resistance really. Yeah, we do have a 5-minute 76.4. So But then, we could also be bouncing around up until the 50. We could come and retest this 50 now, you see. So generally, though, we have this level. Now, we know that they don't just push the price down. They always come and take out stops first. So they could just be coming up to the 61.8, taking out some stops and then rush all the way back down to the 61.8. So let's just see what my indicator is telling me. So it's just telling me that this is still a sell signal on there, or the strategy. I don't particularly want to be in a long position over if it breaks above the 61.8. But to me, this just looks like they're going to come near just to take out some stops, and then they're going to pull this price down. Other option is they come all the way back to the daily 50 and then go up. So there's the brick wall. So this strategy is only going to exit this position if this price actually breaks up over here. And if this price does not break, if this price breaks up to here and hasn't exited that position to go to a long, I will just pause the strategy. But to me, this looks like, we've got a new level of support here, which is the brick wall from the analytical strategy. But more importantly, we've got a weakish Fibonacci level, which is the 61.8. But we have a gap below the price. So you can see you can see how it's playing around this level over here, the 61.8. There's that daily we were talking about. There's that level. So very, very often the price is going to bounce off these brick walls. So if you're looking for a place for a manual position, this very often is the place for your manual positions when the price touches these brick walls or comes very close to these brick walls. And we saw that very briefly there. I mean, it's 16 ticks where the price touched it and then immediately shot down again. It's back at this brick wall. So back at that brick wall, it's now we're deciding what it wants to do. So there we go. So that's so that's the next signal that it went into. I don't know. It's to me, it still looks like this price is going to come down. So looking at these levels, so there it came to the daily 50. So you see how it came back and retested this daily 50. I really want to be in a short here though. Anyway, so this is where this price has room to move. Because that is the Fibonacci level that it just came back and retested. So it just came a little bit higher than what I thought. We should be seeing a sell over here. Not. Okay, good. It flicked below. So we kind of are in no man's land. We're at this brick wall where they're deciding where they want to push this price next. So again, I want to see if this price drops below, I want to see a short. So yeah, the price is at the daily 50. Okay. So again, if the price breaks through here, there's nothing stopping it all the way back to the 61.8. So very easily, this price could have came up to retest the 51 and then actually continue down like this. What it did is it came up to the 50, then came and bounced off the 61.8, came back to the 50, and we kind of really at a situation here where it has to decide what it wants to do. You can see how this level has come into play twice now. You know, in this area where it first came back and retested it, broke through, and now slightly below. So the brick wall, let's see what this brick wall does. So you can see how it resisted over there first, broke through, broke below, and you know these brick walls they call stop identifier. So DTBSI stands for stop identifier, and what that basically means, it's identifying where stops are being taken out in the market. That's basically what it comes down to. So they're gonna come, take out stops, and then they're gonna push it where the hell they want to go. Same thing at this previous brick wall. It formed over there, came up, take out stops, push the price to hell and gone. Same thing over here. Came to the brick wall, retested, take out stops, up, down, you know, depending on how filled their positions are. So what this is looking like now, we're below the daily 50. So, you know, this should switch over to a short. We've also only got the first repaint, first and second repaints selected in this. So that's basically, so it broke through the brick, it went through the brick wall, came and retested it. Went up again, came and retested it again. So very interesting at the moment. So there's this level here, which is key, which is the 15,352. But then we also have this 15,363, which is your daily Fibonacci. So that seems to be the one that is really being the strongest at the moment. So it's a fight now between my brick wall and the daily 50. That's the current battle that we are seeing right now. The price is bouncing between my brick wall that is created from the strategy and the daily 50. And it looks like, or it doesn't look like anything right now because the price is very close to it. So the only way to get a real push now is running up there. Then we know that this level is king. So the good thing about this is it broke slightly higher, whether that was just to get more stops taken out, or is that a sign that this is, you know, a breakthrough of the daily 50 and then a retest and then a bounce up. So this is where we kind of so far by the look of it, the brick wall is the victor because it had basically one, or you can count that as a second, third, fourth stop, fourth resistance, stop identifying. So the institutions have taken the price out, sucked in buyers, taken out their stops, sucked in more buyers, taken out their stops, and that's basically where we are. So again, I really thought that this will be below, the price will come below, and that's because it broke beautifully through that 50, but it did come back and retest it, and then it you know, it just proved to be, they really wanted to push it above the 50 again. So instead of it bouncing off the 50 and coming back down to the 61 or the 38.2, it seems like it's broken above the 50 now, and is going to go back up to this level. Seems that way just from the current price action. So we've got a range of price over here up to 15,440 about, where there's no stopping the price. So that was the range above, as we saw earlier. And the range below was basically once the price, it could still break either way, but that is basically the next very achievable target for this price. So broken through the 50, it's now touching the 5-minute 50. So that's where you can see where it's come and retested. It's around, it's really, you know, they're still really deciding where they want to push this price. Again, you know, if I haven't had a look at this on a in a 5-minute. Yeah, I'm not loving this. I mean, they definitely are playing games, yeah. Which is, it's their, I mean, it's their world, you know. We're in the bankers' world. We're not, you know. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they want to do. It's all rigged. They all know where the price is going to go. They all know their daily range. They all know exactly what they're going to be doing. So here's a 5-minute chart. This also provides like a very nice little snapshot of what's happening. So if you look earlier, the daily 50 actually came into play earlier today. You see? So over here, the daily 50 came into play. Price came to it, bounced through, closed above, smashed up all the way to the 61.8. Came back down, broke below, had a long wick, stayed below, broke above. If this closes below, this could also be a sign that they're going to push the price down. So depending on where these 5-minute candles also close is a very good indicator of where they're going to push the price. So if this 5-minute candle closes above the 50, there's a very high chance they're going to be pushing the price up. It's probably like a signal to each other what they're going to be doing, of where they ultimately want to push that. So what is the time right now? 9:54. So there we go. They've come back to my brick wall. They've come back to my brick wall to take out more stops. Thank you, guys. We sucked you in over here to buy. We've taken you out. Just, you can see how they just put the price a little bit lower. So these are the games these guys play. You see, that's the last low. They'll put the price just a little bit lower, knowing that people are going to have their stops just below the last, whatever they call swing low. You know, so that's, you know, that's where people have got their stops. So, and it's almost to the tick that most people will be stopped out, and they'll wonder, how the hell did I get stopped out? And then immediately the price reverses. Well, this is it. This shows you exactly what you know, what they're doing. So I mean, it's these type of tools that you need to be able to see what the market is doing. I mean, there's, you know, I hear some people say, oh, I don't want to trade with indicators. I just want to look at price action. You know, you are playing in a world where you are literally got open cards. I mean, these guys know exactly what they want to do. They know exactly how to manipulate your mind. So if you don't have tools that are going to give you a you know, a picture of where more likely, or what more likely is priced to do, you literally just, you know, you're winging it basically. So yeah, I've been speaking a lot. What about the guys on the call? How have your strategies been performing?
Mine did well. I mean,
You paused it, eh? Yes.
yeah, I paused it.
Okay.
Mine didn't take a trade, so I jumped into a manual trade, did really well, but unfortunately I basically put a manual position in for a short and it just stopped me out. So I'm about break even again.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we've had the price come to the, it went through, went all the way up to the 38.2, which is the 5-minute one. Often you have little bounces. So you'll often have little bounces off these 5-minute Fibonacci levels. You know, they come into play. Very often they're not strong. You might have a small little bounce off, but then ultimately they'll smash it through. Or they can decide that that's where they want to reverse the price. So, I mean, there's all these little things in play. So break, they may even come back to the 5-minute 50 and then switch up. But this is another situation where they probably just want to come take out some stops before they push the price up again. So if you're going to go draw like a bit of a line on here, I would probably put this as, I would probably do that. Let's just see. Come on. Push. I'm just going to see what is showing me the best type of a setup over here. So that's where the last, I mean, this is a tick chart. I mean, not really. That's the last time, the first time where we had a inclination of price struggling. There's some tops, you know, a little bit of a trend line going on there. So you can play around with little things like this. If you want to make little manual positions, you want to think, well, where's the price more likely to be bouncing off? You can enter little manual trades around there. So yeah, we are at the, what's this thing popping up for? I don't know. So it's my Fibonacci levels indicator. It shouldn't really be doing that. But we're coming up to the top of the hour now. So the strategy is going to automatically pause once outside of trading hours, which is literally in the next few seconds. Okay, so it's now 10 o'clock. So as soon as this bar closes, we're going to be outside trading hours. So there we go. So the strategy has to wait for a bar to close to be out. So yeah, that was our session. So if I look at the strategy, so strategy performance, and I go real time. Oh, come on. Piss off. Sorry, NinjaTrader is just screwing with me again. I can't even drag the window. It's so odd. Strategy performance, real time. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. I literally cannot drag this window. So I'll see if I can. I can't even increase the size of it. That is just so weird. Try this again. Strategy performance, real time. Oh my goodness. I might have to switch screens. Just give me 1 second. Share screen. I'll have to choose a different screen over here. 1. See, I created so many copies of this because it just wouldn't let me drag it. Look at that. It's just not even letting me drag the window. So it's just odd. So basically, there we go. It made $1,500 for the session, had a drawdown of 173, which was the one losing position. And I can't even open this. I don't know why. Yeah, it's mysteries of NinjaTrader, as they say. Mysteries of NinjaTrader. So I can go and open up another real-time window, but it's not actually letting me do anything with that window. So there we go. Okay, so thank you guys for being on the session. We'll do the same thing tomorrow, again at 9 a.m. And I think I'll just continue using the DTBBars. We'll do a similar thing. I did it with the optimization, but for the guys who are trading for the rest of the session, keep an eye out on your Fibonacci levels indicator. Optimize your data series to see where your brick walls are, and you should be good.
Thank you, Jason.
It's a pleasure. Okay, guys, have a good
Cheers,
one,
Jason.
and I'll chat to you tomorrow.